This is the Ocean Protocol 10-year overview reading for the years of 2020 through 2029. It's currently December 25th, 2022, approximately 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Ocean at the time of this reading is 0.1657, or just over 17. Just under 17 cents. The overall theme and behavior over the 10-year period, we have a notable move higher, possibly out of a decline, but there'll be some negative, like seemingly overwhelming headwinds, and even in the face of those headwinds, we'll still move higher. It's crossed with a sharp decline that'll stand out on a year-to-date chart even, or I shouldn't say year-to-date chart, it'll stand out on a multi-year chart. Behavior around the high, we have a sideways fluctuating decline that precedes a rally, so that's definitively bullish. There'll be a decline out of the high, but it'll offer an opportunity to open up a long position because it precedes a rally. Behavior around the lowest low. We have some like a holding pattern with a pop and drop. Congress may be highlighted. There may be something to do with Congress that is involved in the headwinds and brings us to the low. 2020, we have a notable decline from a resistance level down to a support level. Then we break through that support level, meet another support level, bounce around on that support level sideways for a bit, and then we break down through multiple support levels. It's pretty bearish 2020. 2021, there's a decline that'll stand out on a multi-year chart, offering an opportunity to open up a long position. 2022, we have a notable move higher out of oversold territory. Or to fill a previous gap down maybe. Short squeeze even. There's a U-shaped dip in 2023, forming near the intersection of two perpendicular diagonal trend lines, and then in 2024, there's a merger or decision between two leaders, some kind of decision that will impact Ocean, and it looks like we probably have a holding pattern there, either a holding pattern or we have a move higher followed by a full retracement of that move. We might have a holding pattern and then a pop and drop. But in 2025, we have a significant decline in the midst of some bearish price swings. There's a rally out of that drop. There's a rally into 2026, or starting in 2026 maybe, but it also ends there in 2026. So we go from declining in 2025 to some rally on the cusp there. That rally ends and we decline again, but then it looks like there's a move to a distant resistance level in 2027. 2028, that rally increases with momentum moving forward in time. 2029, rally along a diagonal trend line breaks down with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. I'm advised to trade around a key support level on a multi-year chart. And also, it looks like some sort of, there's something here to do with government is somehow highlighted in this stock, or in this coin, I should say. The following 10-year period, 2030 to 2039, off of a prominent crest, there will be a significant sell-off on the scale of a multi-year chart. All right, guys, stay tuned for the pattern recognition portion. If you haven't done so already, guys, please take a moment and subscribe. If you have subscribed, please take a moment and share. Much appreciated. All right, looking at the pattern recognition for the Ocean Coin 10-year, it's pretty tricky. So first off, when we go and we look at the 2020 reading, midway through 2020, we have this big move to the upside. So we have like this decline, bouncing around, decline, and then this big move mid-year to the upside. Right, that's about halfway through, big move to the upside, and then we have the decline, So big move to the upside, and then there's the decline, right? And then we have two high correlators, a high correlator in 2021, a high correlator in 2022. That's one way to look at it, or you could say they're kind of combined. But what we have is a high and then a decline out of that high that offers an opportunity to open up a long position, right? So we have this high and then a decline out of that high, offering an opportunity to open up a long position. But I think this is probably where it gets tricky, because this is going to be a high, right? So we didn't see another high. We came close, but we didn't see close enough to the high for me to... My sense is that we still have this big move. Just like so many other 10 years that we saw, where the big move to the upside in 2022 hadn't happened yet. And again, with a 10-year, each card representing 1 year is really broad. You have to give it some wiggle room, right? So that would possibly put us in position for like a really big move to the upside. The other possibility, and this is why it's tricky, is that this could be the second move, the adjustment to this high, and then from there there's like this U-shaped dip. So we should be coming back up somewhere like around here. There'd be like a U-shaped dip in 2023. See, this is 2022, which is what makes me think it hasn't really happened yet, right? I think that big move is probably just starting. There's also another crest and a trade opportunity towards the end of the year of 2026. So at the end of the year, there's like this drop, I should say. At the end of the year of 2026, there's a drop. And in that drop, there may be a pretty decent opportunity to get in on the long side, because we have this big move to distant resistance in 2027, a rally that increases in momentum in 2028. 2029, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line, but it does end with a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line. But what's interesting is then we have this bullish energy and a trade opportunity in the midst of a crest with a sharp sell-off. So my sense is probably to get out at this night. Sometimes a night is a good exit because it's the end of a trend. So it can be a good exit in some cases. And in the case of like if you were to get in on the dip here on the cusp of 26 and 27, that would probably be a good place to get out along that diagonal trend line where we have the fast sudden move higher. That's my sense of Ocean for the 10-year period 2020 through 2029. Overall, though, the following 10-year period is not looking so good. There may be a rally in early, like 2030, but the overall trend, behavior, the overall energy of the following 10-year period is not looking hot, my friends. With that said, make sure the money that you make from the information in these readings, follow that rule of karma every single time. It doesn't matter if it's $1, it doesn't matter if it's $100,000. What matters is the act and the repetition, right? You're creating a pattern in the mind of abundance by giving and receiving. And the more you give, the more you shall receive. But 5% of profits is really so little. Make sure you send 5% forward to somebody who needs it. Pay it forward, keep the universe going. 5% back to the channel, keep the channel going. And make sure you spend that money out of love. As long as you spend that money out of love, the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions, my friends. Later. Matter of fact, taking a look at the 2023 1 year, it illuminated a little bit of what's going on here. So my sense is that we have like this revisiting a peak at the beginning of the year. We revisit probably this price level here, and then we have a U-shaped dip where we revisit it again, followed by like a pop and drop in 2024. The pop and drop, however, will be like 2024 will go lower. There'll be a pop and drop in there, but 2024 will be like a year where we go lower into 2025, and probably towards the end of 2025 or somewhere in the midst of a sharp decline in 2025, there'll be a rally into 2026 and a drop off of that rally in 2026 on the cusp. But then the rally really picks up steam in the last few years of the decade. And so the trade opportunity would likely be around the cusp of 25, 26 on the long side getting in, with like an opportunity to exit at a higher price level in the following 10-year period before a sharp decline. That's the best I see in Ocean for the 10-year period 2020 and 2029. All right, guys, later.